Aloha guys. Just doing a quick review on this pretty much brand new MA1000 from Armstrong mid aspect. Super fun. I would call this like a true blue surf wing. They've really been working on that, I think, in this last year. And yeah, this thing's about 2 weeks old, as you can tell. I surf a lot of shallow reefs and I try to be careful, but you know, these things are super durable. I've had quite a few different Armstrong wings, and they're really tough. And yeah, first thing, not sponsored, not paid to do this, but I know I had a ton of questions before I got it, and I know a lot of people are probably, wondering about this wing, and I just want to talk about it real quick and my experiences with it. I've had about 2 weeks or so now, and yeah, I love it. I highly recommend it if surfing the foil is what you'd like to do. I can't talk to winging. I haven't got into that, and I can't talk to downwind, though I've heard some really cool things about it. Yeah, it's been a fantastic wing in the surf. Previous to this, I was riding the 925 high aspect, and that was a really good fast wing, with nice glide. A little bit hard to pump, especially like I was coming off this 1250, which I didn't surf it a whole lot. I had been riding a lift 120 before, and I really liked the feel of that high aspect and the speed and the glide of that. And so I was looking to pick up some lift stuff, but I typically like to buy stuff secondhand and save a little bit of money, and I could not find a lift 120 with the mass and everything. But I have some buddies that are New Zealand guys, and they've been on the Armstrong stuff for the past year, and they're super psyched on it, and they're telling me, like, just get a setup and try it and see what you think. And so I found the super affordable A+ system, 72 centimeter mass, 60 centimeter fuselage, and it came with the 1250 and this guy, the 232, which are both great wings, especially for like learning to surf foil. Probably I would say, like, if you're trying to surf really small waves, this would be good too. It's got a ton of lift, and it turns pretty nice overall, the 1250 here, and pairs great with the 232. They have a lot of similarities in the shape and everything, as you can kind of see that outline in the tail and the curves of the two wings. But for me, I felt like going from the 120 onto this, it felt like so much lift, and it was kind of a lot to turn, and I was looking for that speed and the maneuverability and the pumpability. This thing is really forgiving as far as pumping, but it's a little bit slower than the HAs and the mid aspects, and great for learning. I'll probably get my wife going on this hopefully soon, maybe behind the jet ski. I think I could probably surf the jet ski wake pretty easy. I've done it on this with no rope, the mid aspect and the high aspect, but I gotta pump like crazy. This thing I think might do it without. I'm about 150 pounds. 232 tail, good tail, especially in combo with this. But I want to talk about this wing, the mid aspect. I'm a huge fan right out the gates. I know it's upside down, but I'm trying to see if you can see the outline of this thing. It's quite a thin wing, as far as the thickness. The 1250 is much thicker. but it does have more cord than the 925. Sorry, I don't have the 925 to do a side-by-side. I loaned that to a buddy who's been mostly riding the 1250, and I wanted him to get to try out that high aspect feel. So the difference though between like that high aspect 925 and this 1000, you know, this is a little bit more surface area, so you're definitely getting some more lift, but the 925 has a really wide wingspan, and it does turn pretty good. You know, I'm not the best foiler ever. I know there's guys that can rip that thing in the pocket and blast through the whitewater and stuff, but I'm more carving and doing sort of tighter turns and steeper sections, and I was struggling to do that on the 925. I have surfed for quite a few years, and I like that feeling of like just snapping and carving and surfing kind of tight on a shortboard, and this is getting closer to that feeling from everything that I've ridden from Armstrong so far, and also from Lift, and I was riding some Nash stuff too, which was more similar to this. Great for beginning, but now I'm getting turning and pumping dialed, and I want to be able to do tighter turns, and this thing turns amazing. I'm just gonna flip it over so you can see the top a little bit better. Hopefully I don't block all the light. Yeah, so that sort of shorter wingspan I feel like really helps with turning. You know, you're not trying to get so much wing in. You know, that 925, you could get the wing out and keep flying. This thing does that even better in my opinion. It's got this sort of concave on the bottom. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see that or not, but it's not completely flat. And from what I understand from all the videos I've watched and guys talking about that, it really helps with breaching. And I've definitely noticed, like, doing a tight turn, getting a big chunk of the wing out, where some of the other foils, you get that much wing out, you're gonna go down. And not having that issue with this at all. It likes to come out of the water and reconnect really easy. It's quite a fast wing. I've surfed some bigger waves, and it handles the speed. It likes to go fast. You definitely have to pump up high in the water column. The lower you get, you're gonna feel it slow down, and it's a little hard to get it back up. This 1250, more forgiving in that you can drop down lower and keep going, just because it has so much lift, especially with a bigger tail. This thing, you got to keep it high, similar to the HAs, and your cadence with the pump is pretty fast. It's definitely more forgiving, whereas with the HA, I feel like if you dip the board, you're pretty much done. I mean, maybe really, you know, skilled guys could get away with it, but I was struggling. I don't think I ever dipped the board and recovered on the 925. As long as you stay high and fast on that thing, you're golden. You're getting out there. This thing, way more forgiving. You can dip the board, you can get back up and sort of regenerate speed again and keep going. Pump's really good, turns really good. It's fast, it has nice lift, but it doesn't launch you. You know, like when I jumped on this thing, it was just wanting to come up, and I had to really stay on it to keep it down, and that was kind of not what I was looking for. I wanted a balance of lift, speed, glide, maneuverability, and so far this has totally been that for me, in combination with this really awesome, literally like a week old new tail from Armstrong, the Surf 205. They also have the Flow 235, which I think is going to give more glide and pumpability. I wanted something a little smaller that could turn, tighter turns in the pocket kind of stuff. Again, I'm not blasting whitewaters and shit, but my turning is progressing, and that's because of the equipment. And this combination is really, really nice. I'm running like no shim at the moment. I'm gonna play around with adding a shim and seeing if that changes anything. I've been running my foil all the way forward. Actually, on the other tail, the 232, I had the screws flipped, and that gave me another 1/2 inch or so, or maybe even like 3/4 of an inch. It's about that, whatever my middle finger is. But when I put this new tail on, the first thing I noticed is like, whoa, it has a ton of lift, and I had to be on my front foot, and I like to be a little further back, so I flipped the screws, and I got it on this Amundsen. It's on like 6, which is as far forward as it goes with the screws where they are. It felt really good there with no shim. I'm probably gonna throw a shim in there and flip the screws, and maybe not go all the way forward, but like, 1/4 inch at a time or something, and just tweak it. But yeah, if you're looking for something to surf for Armstrong, or you're just looking for a foil that's gonna surf really good, I highly recommend this. It's the best that I've ridden in the waves. Super fun, super fast, super just loose and maneuverable, and yeah, it gives that surf feel. Compared to an HA, I always felt like I had so much speed on the HA, I would have to almost like run to the end of the wave and then do a big banking turn and cut back, and I was trying to slow down a lot and in order to turn. Whereas this thing, I've heard other people say this, but it sticks with the pace of the wave pretty nice. Like, you can just kind of rip around in the pocket and do lots of nice carves. And yeah, that's the feel I'm looking for. If that's what you're looking for, I would grab one of these. This is the 1000. They also have a 1225 and an 800, which I have not ridden either of those yet, but I have some buddies that are running the 1225. They're a little bit bigger. I'm 150 pounds. I'm not sure exactly what their weight is, but I think they've got at least 20 pounds plus on me, and they love it. They're super psyched. They're also surf guys, coming from that surfing background, and also they're into kiting and stuff too, and getting into winging. So I think it'd be interesting to get their feedback on these mid aspects in the wing department, because that's probably where I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna do some downwinding soon. I hung on to my HA to play around with that, but I'm definitely gonna throw this thing in the water when it's time to get into the downwind, and when I pick up a wing and get going on that. Yeah, good speed, good glide, nice balanced amount of lift, really super surfy and maneuverable. And if you're gonna get one of these, and you're already running the A+ system, or even if you're not, I would highly recommend this tail. I did run a chop 212, 232 chop down to 212 centimeters, and felt pretty good. It was actually the first one, not the A+ system, and so it fit a little bit different, and I think that maybe biased my feelings on it, but this thing matches really nicely. I think you could chop your 232 and run that, I've heard great things about the Flying V in combination with this. I can't say anything about the HA195. You know, I was going to grab one of those, but I waited to grab this, and I'm super glad I did. Pairs great with this wing. I think guys that are running the 1225 are grabbing the 235, the Flow 235. You know, it's gonna balance out with that bigger wing, and especially if you're a bigger guy. But I would say if you want to loosen up the feel of the 1225, you could throw the 205 Surf on there and it'd probably feel really good. Yeah, nice pump. I've been able to connect waves on this thing pretty easily. I'm not like pro level foil by any means, but I felt like it's been easier when I do pump out and get to a wave to connect with that wave and keep going. It has a lower stall speed than the high aspect, so you're not going to drop out as quickly as a high aspect wing, so that's super cool. Yeah, check it out. Borrow one if anybody will let you. Everybody I know that's got one doesn't want to get off it, so good luck with that. But try and grab one if you're interested in getting a nice surf wing for your Armstrong setup. And I think that's it. Thank you.